Hello, welcome to Mini Melodies and Toddler Hub. My name is Sandra and I wonder whether you saw the weather at the weekend. It was snowing. I love it when it snows. We're going to be looking at the weather this week in Mini Melodies and Toddler Hub.
Hello and welcome back to Mini Melodies. We've got some songs all about the weather today, which is going to be very, very exciting. And we're going to start off with our hello song.
Hello everybody. Hello all the boys. Hello all the boys. Hello all the boys. It's good to see you here. Hello all the girls. Hello all the girls. Hello all the girls. It's good to see you here. Hello grown-ups. Hello grown-ups. Hello grown-ups. It's good to see you here.
Thank you, Hazel. We're going to sing a song now all about Incy Wincy Spider. I wonder if you can do the actions for the spider with your fingers like this. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Incy Wincy Spider was climbing up a tree. Down came the snow and made the spider freeze. Out came the sun and melted all the snow. So Incy Wincy Spider had another go. Incy Wincy Spider was climbing up the stair. Whoosh went the wind and blew him in the air. Out came the sunshine, no longer did it blow. So Incy Wincy Spider had another go. And give yourselves a really big clap at home. Well done. I hope that's got you warmed up. But if not, we've got another song all about the different sorts of weather and how God is always there. And you can see Marilyn has got her guitar for this song today. When the sun is shining, shining, shining. When the sun is shining, God is there. When the sun is shining and the ice cream's melting, God is there and God is everywhere.
When the rain is pouring, pouring, pouring. When the rain is pouring, God is there. When the rain is pouring and the old man's snoring, God is there and God is everywhere.
When the wind is blowing, blowing, blowing. When the wind is blowing, God is there. When the wind is blowing and the birds are hiding, God is there and God is everywhere.
When the snow is falling, falling, falling. When the snow is falling, God is there. When the snow is falling and the polar bear's shivering, God is there and God is everywhere.
Fantastic. Give yourselves a really big clap. That was great. We've got 3 little snowmen now, and we're going to sing a song all about these 3 little snowmen. You may remember this one from when we sang it just before Christmas. So let's count the snowmen, shall we? We've got 1, 2, 3. 3 little snowmen. There were 3 little snowmen with scarves and woolly hats. Out came the sun and melted one. It's sad, but that was that. There were 2 little snowmen with scarves and woolly hats. Out came the sun and melted one. It's sad, but that was that. There was 1 little snowman with a scarf and woolly hat. Out came the sun and melted one. It's sad, but that was that. There were no little snowmen, just scarves and woolly hats, just a muddle in a puddle. It's sad, but that was that. And give yourselves a big clap. I wonder how many of you saw the snow last week. Here's a little picture that we took from what the church building looked like when it was snowing last week. And in fact, you may have seen a little bit of snow last Sunday as well, the Sunday we've just had. Well, we're going to move on now from the snow onto the rain. I've got my little raindrop here, and we're going to do a rhyme. Splash, said a raindrop as it fell onto my hat. Splash, said another as it trickled down my neck. You are very rude, I said as I looked into the sky. Then another raindrop splashed me right into my eye. Should we do that again? Splash, said a raindrop as it fell onto my head. Splash, said another as it trickled down my neck. You are very rude, I said as I looked into the sky. Then another raindrop splashed me right into my eye. Well, it is still really good fun when it rains, isn't it? I wonder how many of you like to do jumping around in muddy puddles. We definitely like to do that in our house. So, we're going to sing a song all about how much fun it can be when it rains. We're really glad you came to play out in the rain. It would not be the same without the pouring rain. And at home, can you try and do some splashing and pretend you're splashing in a big muddy puddle? Ah, fantastic. We're going to hear a Bible story now, and it's all about a story Jesus told about a lot of rain. So that's over to Sheila.
Hello everyone. Today's story is about a wise man who built a house and a foolish man who built a house. And the story is found in the Holy Bible at the end of chapter 7 of Matthew's Gospel. Jesus told all the people, "Listen to what I say and do what I say, and then you will be like the wise man." He told this story. The wise and sensible man built a house. He built his house on the rock or a hard base foundation like these bricks. And he was tapping, and he was sawing, and he was banging. But then it started to rain. Splash, splash, splash. The rains came down. The rain poured on the rock. And the wind blew. Woo, woo. Can you join in with the wind and the rain? Woo, woo. But the wise man's house was strong and it did not break, because the wise man had built his house on the rock. And Jesus told all the people, "Listen to what I say and do what I say, or else you will be like the foolish man." Well, the foolish man built his house too. He built his house on the sand. Clunk, clunk, rattle, rattle. Then it started to rain. Splish, splash, splish, splash. And the wind blew. Woo, woo. You can join in with the wind and the rain noises. The rain poured on the sand, and it poured on the foolish man's house. This is the house built on the sand, but we're going to put some water on this sand tray and see what happens. And the sand is running away. The sand is running away from the bottom of the house. The foolish man's house wasn't going to be strong enough in the wind and the rain, and it wasn't, and it fell apart and broke. It fell down and went splash into the sea, because the foolish man built his house on the sand. So Jesus told all the people, and you can join in with these words. Jesus said, listen to what I say and do what I say, and be like the wise man who built his house on this rock.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sheila, for that amazing story that Jesus told. We're going to sing about it now, and Hazel has got a fantastic song. You might remember this one from a few years ago at Mini Melodies, and I think you'll definitely recognise the tune.
A wise man went to build a home, E-I-E-I-O. He built it well of bricks and stone, E-I-E-I-O. He built it strong, he built it tall, that house would stand and would not fall. A wise man went to build a house, E-I-E-I-O. A careless man began a home, E-I-E-I-O. He made it out of sand, not stone, E-I-E-I-O. He built it cheap, he built it fast, he did not build his house to last. A careful man began to build, E-I-E-I-O. And then the rain began to fall, E-I-E-I-O. The wise man hardly knew at all, E-I-E-I-O. His farm house kept the water out, a good firm house without a doubt. The wise man's house stood strong and sure, E-I-E-I-O. The harsh wind blew, the rain lashed down, E-I-E-I-O. The careless man began to frown, E-I-E-I-O. The rain poured in through lots of leaks, the roof began to sag and sink, and then, oh no! The house fell down, E-I-E-I-O.
Oh, brilliant. Well, now we're going to do an activity, and I know that this is a really good fun activity because Hazel's recorded this one for us, and in my house this has been going on repeat for the last few days because our daughter Beatrice loves it so much. So it's time for you to enjoy it as well as we do an activity all about the rain and the storm in the story that Jesus told.
Now, this is an activity to do about the story of the wise and the foolish man. And at the beginning of the story, it isn't raining, but it starts to rain. Now, I'm going to be the rain and you are going to be the floods. So when the rain comes down and the rain comes down and the rain comes down, and then when I say, and the floods came up, you jump up into the air as high as you can. So start off the song, start off this, bending down really small. Here's the rain, it starts to rain very quietly first. And then it comes a bit faster. People are starting to put umbrellas up now. Now it gets really heavy. And as heavier it gets, and then suddenly the floods come up. Let's do that again. Down on the floor again. People are getting their umbrellas out. And it's rained so much that out and up come the floods. Very good. Well done.
Oh, brilliant. I hope you had fun doing that as well. Well, now we're going to sing a song that lots of you will know. It's a song all about the wise man who built his house upon the rock. And see if you can join in with the actions at home. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rain came tumbling down. The rain came down and the floods went up. The rain came down and the floods went up. The rain came down and the floods went up, and the house on the rock stood strong. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand, and the rain came tumbling down. The rain came down and the floods went whoosh. The rain came down and the floods went whoosh. The rain came down and the floods went whoosh, and the house on the sand went splash. Oh, give yourselves a big clap. I hope you enjoyed that one. And because we're singing all about the wise and the foolish builders, I think it's a good time for me to wear my builder's hat, or my builder's helmet is the word you could use. And we're going to sing another song all about the wise and the foolish builders. And it helps us to remember the meaning of why Jesus told the story about how we build our lives by listening to Jesus' words and doing what he says. Don't build your house on the sandy land. Don't build it too near the shore. Well, it may look kind of nice, but you'll have to build it twice, or you'll have to build your house once more. You better build your house upon a rock. Choose a good foundation on a solid spot. Though the storms may come and go, the peace of God you will know. Don't build your house on the sandy land. Don't build it too near the shore. Well, it may look kind of nice, but you'll have to build it twice, or you'll have to build your house once more. You better build your house upon a rock. Choose a good foundation on a solid spot. Though the storms may come and go, the peace of God you will know. That is a great song, isn't it? Give yourselves a big clap at home. That is really nice and boppy, that one. So what have we sung about today? Well, we sang some songs earlier on about the rain. We sang some songs about the snow. We sang some songs about the wind. We sang lots of songs just then about the storm. Well, let's sing a song now all about the sun. So Marilyn's got her guitar and we're going to sing this one together. Sally go round the sun, Sally go round the moon, Sally go round the chimney tops on a sunny afternoon. Sally go round the sun, Sally go round the moon, Sally go round the chimney tops on a sunny afternoon. Give yourselves a big clap. Well done. Well, we're going to go back to our story now because we're going to do a craft in a few moments' time. But firstly, we've got a dance, and it's called Ace Foundations. It starts off really quiet, then it gets rather boppy. So we start off nice and gentle. Maybe you can have a bit of a lie down. Maybe you can have a sit down. Just get to relax to the nice guitar music. This reminds me of when the weather was nice and calm before the storm. It's time to do some dancing. I wonder what dances you can be doing at home. Maybe you can do some clapping. And now can you get ready to build your houses on the rock? Oh, brilliant building, well done. Rock. A nice big strong house, well done. Thumbs up for Ace Foundation, which means really good foundations. Let's do that again, shall we? Last time around, let's do some big moves this time. Maybe you can do some spinning. And the other way. Fantastic. Give yourselves a bit of a clap. That was fantastic. Well done. Well, that's all we've got time for with the songs of this week. But next week, we're going to have a new story, but lots more songs all about the weather. So that'll be something really exciting to look forward to. But we've got our craft coming up in just a moment. And before that, it's time to do a drum roll as we have our notices. And the most important notice to say for this week is that on Sunday, we've got our all-age worship in the church at 10:45 in the morning. And because of coronavirus, we can't actually all go down to the church, so we'll be live streaming it. And you can join in with YouTube, and this time you can also join in with Zoom if you want to be really able to be involved with the service. So the details of how to access YouTube are on your screen at the moment. If you'd like to join in by Zoom, please do just ping an email to me. That's also on the screen at the moment, and I'll send you the details of how to log in by Zoom. So I look forward to seeing you next week.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our craft today at Mini Melodies and Toddler Hub. Today our story has been about a wise man and a foolish man who built houses on rocks and sand. So I thought we could recreate that story in our craft today. So you will need a piece of a cereal box or a piece of A4 white card to begin our craft with today. Some brown paper, some crayons, some Pritt stick, and some little characters which you can draw to go on the picture as we build it up. So I've started by getting my piece of A4 paper and dividing it in half, and on this side I've put the foolish builder, and on this side I've put the wise builder. So I thought we could begin with the foolish builder first. Now if you remember, he built his house on sand. Well, I haven't got any sand I can put on my picture, but I found a piece of sandpaper which I thought would look like sand, and I've cut it into a shape that looks a bit like a sand dune. But you could just draw a piece of white paper and colour it yellow, or you could use a piece of yellow paper which would look like sand. So I'm going to stick this onto our picture here to start building it up. I'm going to put the sand along the bottom so it begins to look like a little mound on the bottom of there to build our house on. So I've then cut some strips of brown paper, about 4 inches long, or whatever the equivalent is in centimetres. I'm not very good with those. And I'm going to put that along the bottom and stick it onto our sand dune. And then I've cut some little sides as well to go on, which we're going to stick. So we want 2 sides for the house. Another piece along the top so that it makes it like a square. So it looks a bit like that. So we do need to put a roof on our house, because otherwise we can't put anything on the top of it. It would be very flat. So I'm going to put 2 pieces along the top to make a roof shape. So there's our house, and I think he would have built some of his house on the top or on the sides with some planks of wood. So I've made some wood on there on a piece of brown paper and just drawn some straight lines on so that it looks like wooden planks. And then I'm going to glue that one onto our picture. And I've cut a triangle out and made some lines on that for the roof. I used a yellow one because I thought it looked a bit like some reeds or some straw or something he may have put on the top. So there's our roof, there's our house, but we can't get into it because we haven't got a door, and he can't see out because we haven't got a window. So I've drawn on some white paper a door and put a little doorknob on, and I've drawn him a little window so he can see out. And I'm going to stick those onto our house now. So there's his house, all ready for him. And of course the rain came down, didn't it? And rained on the house. So I'm going to draw a couple of clouds which can go either side of the roof, with the rain coming down on the top. So there's his house with the rain coming down. And here he is. He's looking a bit unsure about whether or not his house is going to stay up. That's why I've got his looking a bit like this. So there he is. I'm going to stick him on with a double-sided sticky tab so that he sticks a little bit off the picture. Take this bit off the back. Doesn't matter if you haven't got sticky tabs, you can just put him on there with Pritt stick. And I'm going to stand him there looking very proud of his house. So the other person was a wise man, and he thought about how he was going to build his house, and he chose to build it on a rock. So I've drawn a rock out of white paper. Now you can use a pencil or a silver crayon or something to make it look rock coloured, and I'm going to stick that on the bottom of this side, ready for the wise man's house. So there's his rock, ready for his house to be built. So again, I've cut the same pieces of brown paper to make the outline of his house. So we'll stick that on. And we'll put the sides on. And then the top. And he's going to need a roof as well. So I've cut 2 pieces ready to make his roof so that it looks almost the same as the other man's house, but not quite. So there's his house on the rock. Now, because he was being wise, he made his house out of bricks. So I've a piece of brown paper and I've drawn some bricks on there that looks like the outside of our houses too. And I'm going to stick that one on. Now, because he was wise, instead of putting straw on it, like we have on here, he's got some tiles on his roof. So I've found a piece of orange paper, but you could colour them, a white piece, and colour it orange or red or whatever colour roof tiles you'd like. And we can stick that one on the top as well. And again, our wise builder had rain that fell on his house. So I've drawn 2 more clouds to go either side of his house with the rain coming down. And then I've drawn our wise builder as well, and a door and a window for him to look out of. So I've done his door and window, which can go on. Otherwise he won't be able to get into his house either. And then lastly, here is our wise man, who's looking very happy about how he's built his house because he thinks it's going to stay up. So we're going to put a sticky tab on the back of him. And we are going to stand him firmly on his rock, being very proud of his house. And there he is. So there's your completed picture. You've got your foolish man here who thought he built his house on a rock, on something steady and firm. And on this one, you've got the man who is building his house on the rock. And that reminds me of how, as we grow, if we put our trust and stand on the firm rock of knowing Jesus in our life, we will always have him with us and he will always give us strength to go through life together. Hope you've enjoyed the activity today. See you again soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for that, Jill. We hope you had a really good time at Toddler Hub and Mini Melodies this week. See you soon. Bye.